In February of 2020, we signed up for a service called Video Games Monthly, a grab bag sort of service that allows you to get different retro video games delivered right to your mailbox for a fee. Now here, some 7 or 8 months later, we've kind of canceled, well not kind of, we've canceled our subscription to Video Games Monthly, and we want to share our overall thoughts with the service. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rock Solid Productions. Now, if this is your first time to the channel, just want to take a second and say thank you for stopping by and checking out what we have going on here today in our recap of our experiences with Video Games Monthly. I hope you enjoy it. If you like what you see here, I invite you to check out some of our other videos, including unboxings of each month's Video Games Monthly box that we received, what the game conditions were, what we did to clean them up, so on and so forth. And if you really like what you see here, do me a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and that bell notification. And what I'm curious to learn from you, down in the comments, let me know, have you ever subscribed to a service such as Video Games Monthly? There are other services out there, some of which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So as I mentioned in the intro, back in February we did sign up for the service, and for those not familiar with Video Games Monthly, it is what Netflix used to be, but instead of a rental, you get to keep what they send you in the mail. Starting at $34.99 a month, going up to $79.99 a month, you can get a box with 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 10 retro video games based on your system preferences that you set through their website. I initially subscribed to the 3 games a month plan and then went to the 4 games a month plan shortly thereafter. I believe it was in April I did that. It's kind of neat. I want to talk, this video is going to be a little bit all over the place. Please bear with me. One of the things I want to start out with is, as an idea, as a concept, as a service, I like what Video Games Monthly provides to the community. I just may not be the right customer for the service that they are trying to provide, and I'll tell you why here in a few moments. The way the service works is basically you can select from a ton of different retro, handheld, and home console systems. Going back to the Atari 2600, the Intellivision is on there, the NES, import systems too, such as the Famicom, the Super Famicom, things along those lines. So it's cool that you have a wide plethora, which means a lot, of games through, or systems that you can get games for through their service. One of the first limitations that I would say of their service is you have to go in and add your existing library. Now, if you're just starting out, terrific, you don't have anything to add. And this is where I think the strength of Video Games Monthly really is because their commons are really good. My first box, I got Blades of Steel, Super Mario Bros. 3, and Spy Hunter. 3 exceptional games. I already had them, as my fault for not going through and filling out my library. I rolled the dice and I came up craps on that one. But after that, I did want to go through, update my library, and update the systems that I was looking for games for. The systems I was looking for: NES, Famicom, Super NES, Super Famicom, Japanese and US N64, same with the GameCube, PS1, PS2, I think I put PS3 on there, Wii U, Saturn and Dreamcast I may have put on there. Pretty much, if I had the home console, I put it as far as systems I wanted to have games for. Now, the games list itself, you can go through and they have pretty much the entire library up there in a database. However, you can only select that you have 200 of titles for any particular system. For most people, that's not going to be a problem. For someone like me, it's a problem. I have close to 200 games on the NES side of things. When you combine my Super NES and Super Famicom games, we're getting close to that as well. I know the reason why they did this. It's actually pretty smart, is the fact that you keep people from just saying, I've got everything except for these 4 or 5 things, and if you don't send me these 4 or 5 things, you suck. Completely get the mindset behind that. The thing that it does, however, is it opens the door to receiving certain games and genres I have no interest in. For some people, that might be sports, football, baseball, basketball. They don't want to receive those. Me, I don't care. Depending on the sports games, I actually do enjoy them. Some people don't want to play RPGs. Some people don't want to play JRPGs. Some people don't want to play games that are only in Japanese. There is no option to select that on the site itself, which is kind of a bummer. Now, over the course of my subscription to Video Games Monthly, I received 37 or 38 total games. There's one game missing from the stack because I'll be honest with you, I can't find it. It's Romancing Saga 3 for the Super Famicom. But above and beyond that, I mean, these are all the games that we got from Video Games Monthly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games for the PlayStation 2, 1 for the original PlayStation, 1, 2, 3 for the GameCube, 2 for the Wii, 1 for the Xbox 360. I mean, not an RPG fan, but I have to admit, this complete in-box Dragon Quest VI, this thing is gorgeous. We received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games for the NES, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games for the N64, 1 for the Super NES, 2 for the Super Famicom, again Romancing Saga 3 that I don't have out here, 3 games for the Genesis, 2 games for the Famicom, and 1 for the Master System. The total and everything that I spent in my subscription was $330, plus some change. Round numbers, $330. The approximate value of this lot is $365, so they did give me more than what I paid for. And they also had things such as what they call a 1-up and a 2-up, and that basically means if you subscribe to the 3, you get 4 if you have a 1-up. If you have a 2-up, you will get 5, so on and so forth. Pretty easy to figure out. Without those 1-ups and 2-ups, I would be in the hole for what I spent. Now, another thing that for me, I was kind of shocked initially, I figured they would have had it baked into the price of the subscription service, is the fact that they charge separately for shipping and handling. Shipping and handling is not free. I completely get that. But it's one of those things in today's day and age of Amazon Prime, people don't want to pay for shipping. Just include it in the cost of your service. So my $39.99 a month plan ended up costing me almost $50 a month because there was $8 shipping and handling on it. Now, when it comes to the games themselves, it was more miss than hit for me. Kenseiden for the Master System was, a nice surprise. It was the only Master System game I got in a lot. I wish I would have gotten more. The 2 games that I got for the Famicom, both RPGs. Worthless to me. The Genesis probably has the best, the Genesis and the Japanese N64, which I'll touch on in a second, probably had the best just overall games in there. The 3 games I got was X-Men 2, The Clone Wars, Decap Attack, and World of Illusion with Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. Those are 3 great games for the Genesis. And I think by and large you would agree those are really good games. For the Super NES, I got NBA Jam, which it's a fun game. I already had, again, on me because I did not fill out my library. It seemed like when it came to the N64, pretty much all that I got was imports. I got baseball for the N64, I got Banjo-Kazooie for the Japanese N64, Snowboard Kids for the Japanese N64, Goemon for the N64 Japanese version, Diddy Kong Racing for the Japanese N64. The only US N64 game I got from them was Star Wars Battle of Naboo. Now, by and large, these are great games. Because they're Japanese, they don't have the value of the American games. So just from a dollars and cents value, a little bit less. Thankfully on these, unlike the JRPGs and whatnot, by and large, I can play them on my system without any issue. Now, for most people, they would need a separate Japanese N64. I've actually modded my system so I can play both US and import Japanese NTSC-J cartridges. If you want to see how to do that, super simple. I'll have a link for you right up there where you can check that out. But I mean, these are really exceptional games. The only one that for me would kind of be a clunker, and it's just because I never really played it, would be Snowboard Kids. Again, it's just because I didn't play it. On the NES side, this was probably, again, more miss than hit. Although there are some, definitive classics in here. TNC Surf Design is actually one that I asked for. I wanted this game. The Adventures of Bayou Billy. I didn't have it, I asked for it, it was on my list, so that is good there. Spy Hunter, it's a classic. I actually already had it. This was in my first box, as I mentioned. It's one of those things that, you know, it's always good to have another. It's good trade bait. It is a good common for someone, again, just starting their collection. The one that I was most excited to get was Willow. I did not have it, I'd never played it, and I really wanted it after watching a video from John Riggs. If you haven't subscribed to John, go ahead and do so. I'll have his information down below in a pinned comment. Super Mario 3 and Blades of Steel. You know, overall, a decent collection of NES games. There's not, you know, some people may consider TNC Surf Design and Bayou Billy kind of duds. I still enjoy playing them. They're okay for me. On the Super Famicom side, again, we had Dragon's Quest, Romancing Saga 3, which again, I don't have here, and then, I forget, this is GD Lean is what it's called. All JRPGs, all in Japanese. I can't play them. I wouldn't really even want to play them. I'm not an RPG fan, so for me, the Super Famicom games, total bust. Super NES, again, NBA Jam, decent. Now we're going to get into some really interesting ones between the GameCube and between the Wii and between the PS2. So on the GameCube, again, we got Gun, a game I had never played. A lot of people tell me it's kind of like an early version of Red Dead Redemption. Dragon Ball Z Budokai. I'm not a Dragon Ball Z fan, so eh. And Hot Wheels World Race. Again, this just felt like filler, like what you would find at the Walmart discount bin. On the Wii side, again, what I feel is filler, but it's unique filler because they're sealed. Disney's Guilty Party and Miniclip Sushi Go Round. These are both sealed Wii games. Normally, sealed games worth more, right? These are worth about 10 bucks. So the uniqueness of a sealed game is not overweighed by the fact that these are just games not very good, not in demand. And then for the Xbox 360, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Thanks to Retro Rick for the heads up on this. This is actually trading in for like $12 or $13 at GameStop just for the game right now. So that's what's going to happen with this, and it's going to help me pay for my PS5. PS1, I got the Namco Museum. Now, this is the only game that I got like this where it was just the game in a case, generic case, no outer, you know, regular case like you would get for the PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox original. So that was kind of unique to get that. On the PS2 side, however, I got a lot of sealed games. I got 3 sealed games on this, and some that I think people would consider classics, but because they're classics, they're also commons and not worth a whole lot. So Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Kingdom Hearts RE Chain of Memories, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and because I forgot to fill up my library for 2 months, or back-to-back months, I got Final Fantasy X 2 months in a row. I'm not an RPG fan. Okay. But I also got sealed Jet Li's Rise to Honor, SOCOM Navy SEALs 3, and Syphon Filter Dark Mirror. Now, again, these very much have the Walmart bargain bin feel to them. They're not worth a lot, they are still sealed, but there's just little value here to me as a collector, as a player. Generally games, I don't know that I'll ever open these. These are probably going to be trade bait as well. So again, as far as the overall collection received, you know, just shy of 40 games here added to my collection. The 3 winning systems for me really are NES, Japanese N64, N64, and the Sega Genesis. Those really were the 3 best for me. The Super Famicom games, worthless. Famicom games, worthless. PS2 games, mostly worthless. The Wii games, absolutely worthless. GameCube, kind of worthless. Xbox 360, worth for trading in. So when you take into account, again, $330 spent, roughly $365 in value, but even above and beyond the dollar value, the playthrough value, just not there for me. Now, after what I posted in, I believe it was July or August, that I was disappointed in my box that had so many RPGs, the folks over at Video Games Monthly reached out to me and said, hey, you can message us a wish list of what you're looking for, message us what you have, and let us know if there's any specific genres that you are or are not looking for. terrific. I sent them games for the Master System, for the NES, for the Famicom, Super NES, Super Famicom, N64, for the GameCube, for a lot of different systems. And I also told them no RPGs, no JRPGs. And for 1 month, for the month of September, no RPGs, no JRPGs. I got Willow in that box. That was on my wish list. I was happy. But come October, half of my box was JRPGs, completely worthless to me. And that was, for me, very frustrating. And I would be less frustrated if I had reached out to them and said, hey, if you don't mind, I would rather not receive these. They reached out to me, and that's where I take a little bit of issue with it. As such, looking at what I had gotten to this point, like I mentioned early on, I have canceled the service. I may look back at it later on, but for me right now, the value for what I was getting versus what I spent was not there. Now, one thing I do appreciate was, I don't know if they were listening to my feedback or if they just changed things up or if I just happened to get better games. But the initial rounds of games that I got from them for the first 2 or 3 months were extremely dirty, especially the cartridge-based games. Now, again, go through and check out our unboxings of those videos. You can see exactly how to clean games for each of those systems. Some of them, I just needed to use some 1-Up cleaning cards, and that took care of it. Other ones, I had to use Bright Boy on it, which is a metal polish, but not an abrasive like Brasso, so it is generally safer, but it does still remove material from your pins. You don't want to do it a whole bunch of times. I also found on the disc games that they had run them through a resurfacing machine, which is great, but they didn't fully clean the spindles out, so there was still material and cleaning agent and polishing agent left around the spindle of the game. I appreciate them going through and polishing the games. I'm lucky enough that I have access to a polishing machine over at Live Action Games. Adrian actually provides that service for a small fee. Generally, it's an insult here or there, but a couple bucks. And I can get games that I pick up cleaned and polished if it's a disc-based game. He always wipes them down for me afterwards with a microfiber cloth, especially around the spindle, to remove that cleaning agent. That by and large did not happen with these games, and it's just an extra little touch that if they would just do that and they just clean the games a little bit more, and it's a lot of little things that for me kind of tick boxes like, yep, I'm done, yep, I'm done, yep, I'm done. What you saw in the videos for my unboxing, I would have to be doing anyways as far as cleaning these games to get them to play. Whenever I pick up any game from anywhere, I don't care where it's from, if I get them from Live Action Games, if I get them from Disc Replay, if I get them off of eBay, if I get them at a convention, I open them up, I clean them with 1-Up cleaning cards, and if need be, I go ahead and I hit them with Bright Boy, at least the cartridge-based games. So I would be doing this stuff anyways. I'd be inspecting the pins, I'd be inspecting the cartridges just to make sure I'm not contaminating my systems, because I don't want my NES HDMI mod here to not work because of some game I bought from someone that was loaded with carbon and other gunk that's gonna gum up the works here. I wanna make sure my games work each and every time. And it seemed like in later months, the games were cleaner, but there were still occasional ones that would come through. It's like, yeesh, I really need to pay special attention to this. Now, overall, I think this is still a good service for the right person. Like I mentioned, if you are just starting out collecting, if you are looking for, say that you have a collection of NES games and now you're looking to get into Super NES, you don't have any, or N64, you don't have any, this would be a good way to bolster that library. You can also collect just by specific systems, which is a neat feature. I asked them repeatedly, if there'd be a way to just add a tick mark for genres that you're looking for. Shooters, action platformers, first-person shooters, RPGs, sports games. They said, at that time, it's not something they can do, just email them. If they would have said, hey, I've got to email them every month to remind them, hey, no RPGs, I would have done that begrudgingly, but at least I would have known that I had to message them every month. As I didn't do that, again, the last box, half JRPGs, pretty much worthless to me. I don't want anyone to take this as me dumping on Video Games Monthly. I don't want you to go and flame them on their social pages and whatnot. They've got decent communication, they provide a good service to the community, just not something that will suit the needs that I am looking for here. And that's, at the end of the day, I think where I'm going to leave this video, is the fact that it's a decent service. It's not for me with where they're at from a technological standpoint right now, as far as being able to customize my wish list per genre, in addition to per system and per what I already have in my library. If they did that, I think it would be just that next step above. I also wish that they would go ahead and either raise their prices slightly and eliminate the shipping and handling charge, or just go to flat rate shipping and say, it's $34.99 a month for 3 games, and then it's $5 or $3 or whatever it would be for shipping and handling. What they are spending to send, I am barely breaking even. Again, amongst almost 40 games here, I was $35 ahead. So basically, if you average that out, $1 per game received above and beyond what I was spending. And I wasn't looking for like, oh, you're a YouTuber, you should get all this free awesome stuff. They never asked me to make any of these videos. I did it and I subscribed to it, A, because, well, COVID, so we couldn't go to conventions, but B, I thought it'd be an interesting way to bring new and unique content to you, the viewer, each and every month, that not only showed, hey, pickups, because I'm not a huge fan of pickup videos, I don't do them a ton, but also the aspect, or the way that I tried to make my pickups a little bit differently is, let's look at the cartridges. Here's how you clean them. Here's how you make sure that they continue to work now and into the future. I appreciate the fact that I got 1-ups and 2-ups, which, based on the titles that were in the boxes, I kind of feel that they were painted in the corner just to make sure that I got the value that I was paying for. Again, I was not looking for like the homeboy hookup or the YouTuber hookup or anything like that. I knew that I wasn't going to spend $40 and have a $120 game in the box. I knew that was not going to happen. But I kind of figured I'd get about 10 to 15 bucks more value every month above and beyond what I was spending, and by and large that didn't happen. It was pretty much a 1-for-1 or a 1-for-1 and $1 extra per month. But these are just my opinions. Let me know what you think down below. Again, this may come across as kind of harsh towards Video Games Monthly. It's not meant to be. I think the service can be better. It's decent, but it definitely has room for improvement. And I really hope that they take my feedback as not bashing them, but as constructive criticism from someone who wants to see them do well and appreciates what they do here for the community. Now, if you've got any other comments or questions, again, leave them down below in the comments section. I want to hear if you've ever signed up for one of these grab bag sort of services like Video Games Monthly. If you've got any other comments or questions as well, you can feel free to email me at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. You can visit me over on Twitter at RockSolidStudios. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions and Instagram at Instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK. Now, I do want to take a second too. I use them in every one of our cleaning videos and whatnot. 1-Up Cleaning Card, Adam. They just recently moved into a whole new building. They are growing and they are expanding, and I just want to extend my congratulations and my thanks to you, my friend, and I wish you nothing but the best in the future. Make sure you check him out at, I think it's oneupcard.com. If you need to pick up any 1-Up cleaning cards, he sells them right through his website there too. You can also go ahead, visit CastlemaniaGames.com. He's got them over there too, and the cool thing is if you use promo code RockSolid10, you save 10%. Now, I know a lot of them because of Adam's move and whatnot. Some of them are out of stock over at Castlemania Games. They should be in stock very soon. And again, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you like what you see here, if you want to see more, do me a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification. That way you are kept up to date with everything we have going on here with the channel. Now, this is not the last mail order service that we are going to do. We have another one that will be debuting on the channel within about a week or two of when this video posts at the end of October 2020. I'm not going to reveal, where we're getting our treasures from for that or anything like that. It is a retro-based system, and there's games in there too. So we'll see what kind of retro game treasures we can get in the future on our videos. And we'll do the same type of thing that what we did here is open the games, see how clean they are, check the value and everything, make sure they play, and see if we got a good value for our money. My name is Gary, this has been Rocksolid Productions, and if you want to check out any of our other Video Games Monthly unboxings, I will have those linked for you right there.